Hello, it's IELTS with me tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how to write a Band 9 essay for your IELTS writing task 2 question. In this lesson, we'll focus on an example task as well as how to do our essay planning, as well as analyzing the examiner's comments, as well as step-by-step guiding and explanation. Let's get started. Our question here is, a country's museums should always be free for people to visit, whatever the visitor's age, income, or nationality. To what level, to what extent do you agree with this idea, with this statement? To what extent do you agree with this statement? Should museums always be free for all visitors? This question actually is pretty tricky. Pay attention to always be free and for all visitors. Okay. Regarding the explanation, actually, as we see, this is opinion type tasks, opinion over personal viewpoint type. We have to express our, opinion, and at the end express our opinion. Should museums be free for all of the visitors or not? Pay attention that having a balanced conclusion, with which method we can have a balanced conclusion actually by an opinion with as long as or provided that or similar, actually by setting a condition. Okay, after the small concession paragraph. Okay, therefore we are gonna have a balanced conclusion. The instructions are inviting us to think about the issue of the matter of the question of actually always free and for all visitors. Remember that how the candidate covers this aspect in his conclusion, okay, in an example essay here. Okay, how we should plan our student plan actually. As I explained above, we have opinion or personal viewpoint type task. In our introduction, we are gonna talk about shortly about museums' importance and saying that free entry is something unnecessary. In our main body paragraph, we provided 3 reasons here. Number one, most visitors able to pay, for example, in the example of London. Number two, fees can be used to help museums to assist them to new displays and etc. Number three reason, many museums are private anyway, actually. Subsidize would be impossible for them. And we want to have a balanced essay. Okay, we provided reason for what is this unnecessary, but we have to have a short paragraph for saying why is this something necessary. Actually, free museums are a national symbol, but fees would help them, though not for children and etc. By the help of concession paragraph, we are gonna show the examiner that we can organize a well structured essay. Okay, and at the end we are gonna say that charges are justifiable, provided that there are exemptions, right? Provided that by setting a condition situation. Okay. And remember that, okay, if you want to know more about how to organize a balanced conclusion, Okay, please take a look at our previous videos regarding actually how to organize a balanced concession by preparing and by writing provided that or as long as to set a condition on our conclusion, as well as remember as well as how to write in an academic way by writing academic phrases. Therefore, please take a look at them. Okay, here we are going to analyze a band 9 essay from the candidate and actually with step-by-step explanation. Okay, museums are a vital part of any nation's cultural life. Museums are an essential part of a nation's cultural life. Museums are an integral part of any nation's cultural life, and high visitor number are a desirable indicator of their health and popularity. However, it seems to me that pay attention to the usage of impersonal style, that making museums universally free, totally free, is something unnecessary and even counterproductive in our efforts to make them more attractive. Okay. For one thing, we should remember that many potential visitors to museums are able to pay an admission charge and would not object to this. For example, for instance, in London, we see many thousands of wealthy tourists, wealthy visitors who have paid large sums to travel, and for whom a modest entry charge would be no inconvenience. No inconvenience. Indeed, actually, applying a small fee would enable museums to collect revenue which could be used to conserve the exhibits, extend the collocations, and put on further displays, and so on. This would in turn, as a result of them, make the institution more attractive so that more visitors arrive. The Guggenheim museums in the USA and Europe are an interesting example of museums which constantly refresh their contents in this way. At the end, as a last point, finally, we should remember that not all museums are publicly owned, and indeed there are numerous smaller private institutions, for example, in Russia or the Middle East, which rely on entry fees to survive. Abolishing such fees would be vastly expensive in terms of what? In terms of state subsidies, and would surely have little effect on visitor numbers. Okay. Our concession paragraph, remember that the main body paragraph, which we prepared 3 reasons, is a long paragraph with complex sentences, okay, with long paragraph. But our main body part 2, which is our concession paragraph, gonna be a short paragraph. Admittedly, I agree with those who say that universally free museums are a symbol of an equal and advanced society, showcasing national heritage and learning for everyone. However, the use of affordable entry fee, certainly with exemptions for children, the unemployed, students, and others, may well add to the museum's effectiveness as such showcase. Great, okay? Overall, to recapitulate, to sum up, all in all, to conclude, in conclusion, I feel that modest charges are justifiable and indeed useful, something beneficial in our efforts to broaden access and improve our museums, provided that as long as nobody is excluded on the grounds of costs. Okay. I want to add something which is more visible here is providing, providing examples which is not common, not not something so visible which we saw in the media, writing the example of Russia or the Middle East. It's not something that we want to see, or Guggenheim museums in the USA and Europe. We want to see something which is very and extremely common in the media, but as a whole, the essay is pretty well organized and clear, and the candidate actually expressed his reasons pretty well. Okay. Please now are gonna analyze the examiner's comments here. Remember that the only real weakness in this essay for me is the quality of the examples. Their quality. London, Guggenheim, Russia, Middle East, which don't add much concrete, much precise evidence. On the other hand, this can be a difficult topic to think of evidences or examples, and so I would not reduce the band score because of this. In fact, I would award band 9 because of the clear structure and well-developed arguments. And in the introduction, the candidate gives the opinion effectively and alerts the examiner that you are gonna see. He alerts me to the universally free part of the argument, and the use of admittedly, however, in the concession. In the second main body paragraph is a classic way to organize this important section. And the writer, the candidate uses we should remember that to avoid what? Personalization, where he uses I agree, I feel. This is part of given opinion in the concession and conclusion. Remember that. So seems natural in this context. And at the end, as I explained, the conclusion is pretty well balanced conclusion. Okay. Yeah, and it deserves a high band score. Okay. Please don't hesitate to check our previous videos. I really hope that you enjoyed this module, and please be sure to click that subscribe button, ring the bell, and turn on notifications so you're alerted to our future content. And thanks for watching, and see you soon in another IELTS with me tutorial. Take care and bye.